and welcome to Good Life, the health show with me, Pooja. Well, this is a show that focuses on providing you with solutions to your health-related issues, lifestyle, and much more. Well, viewers, a urine infection in children is very common. It can cause various symptoms, but there are treatments and precautions one can take to avoid such infections to bother your child. And so to discuss on this, we have with us in studio Dr. Afsana Jahan, Pediatric Nephrologist at Renowell Clinic and Narayan Super Speciality Hospital. So not to waste any more time, I'll straight away move to her and talk more of the topic which we have taken today. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming to Good Life, the health show. So the topic which we have taken is a urine infection or urinary tract infection in children, which is very much commonly seen.
Yes.
So if we talk about in general a urine infection, what would be that? How will our viewers make out that what exactly is the meaning?
Okay. Urine infection means there is infection in the urinary tract. It may be the kidney or lower down, anywhere where the urine is. See, we have two kidneys, and kidneys filter the blood and produce urine. And the urine comes down by two ureters from the kidneys and then collected in a bag called urinary bladder. And then timely, the child or an adult passes urine.
Okay.
So whenever there is an infection in the whole system, wherever the urine is, so it is called urinary infection.
So this is basically the main or maybe the basic information on what is urine infection, and I'm sure the parents will have to be more aware about it because as children they will be out, they will be somewhere in school.
Yes.
And they have to be more aware, and these awareness can be given at home. So there are a lot of habits we can teach our children, isn't it, doctor?
Yes.
So let's start about what can cause a urinary tract infection. If we talk about the causes.
Yes, the infection there, the organism has to come from somewhere. So it can be because of unhygienic practices by the child. See, this is more common in children below 5 years.
Below 5
Obviously,
years.
Because they don't clean up the area properly after passing stool. So that is the most common problem. And parents has to take care. Actually, the caregiver, he has to be active. If after the child passes urine, only it is not our duty that a child is passing urine regularly at 1-2 hours. We have to see that then the toilet should be clean. That is one of the most important parts.
Absolutely.
Yes, home we clean our toilets, but whenever the child is passing urine in the community places, especially in school, because nowadays the school timing is very long and they span quite a lot of time in the school. So it is a responsibility of the school staff and the teachers to see that the child's toilet is clean. It has two problems. Once the child passes urine in a dirty toilet, there is every chance of spillage and it contact with the child's genitalia. And there is second is that as the child grows up, he realizes that he tries to avoid going to a dirty toilet. That is another dangerous thing.
Absolutely.
Child will stop the urine and anyway they have the tendency while they are playing or watching a favorite cartoon like that, they will postpone the urine. And especially in school if the toilet is dirty.
So passing of urine on time is very important. We have seen these children. This is a very important point which you have made, that when they are with their favorite things, when they are favorite, suppose a favorite cartoon is going on and they think
and
that
the mother is busy cooking.
Absolutely.
That time they try
so
avoiding.
this controlling of urine, and that has to be taken care by the parents, because as children they will be busy with their whatever favorite stuffs are going on. All right, doctor, we'll talk more on this. We have a phone call, so let's take the phone call first. Hello? 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 Okay, there is a disconnection in the phone, so we'll try to connect that. A hygiene has to be maintained, and that has to be given proper training by the parents at home. So if we talk about that, how a child or a mother will come to know that the child is infected with an infection. So what kind of main basic causes or the symptoms will make them understand?
Okay, this is a very important point because see adult, they have, children may most commonly have fever, high grade fever while having urine infection. But sometimes they may not have fever, and even with fever they are usually cold and cough. So these are more common. But when the child has some symptom related to the urine, along with high grade fever, he is avoiding to going to toilet. Sometimes they may not tell that urine is painful, that's why I'm not going.
Okay.
So they just avoid going to toilet. And then in older children, they frankly complain of pain. Then we may see then the urine is smelling.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes urine is smelling.
All right, doctor, we'll come back to that symptoms. Let's take the phone call first. Hello? 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 All right, so there is some technical problem raising at this point. So better is that there will be, because as children, they might not understand the symptoms. So as a, what could be the reason that if they are having a pain while passing on this urine? So is that the symptom? Yes, if it is infected.
That time child may have pain, then the color may be altered, it may be slightly yellowish, sometimes even frank red. There may be blood in the urine also during urine infection. But problem is with smaller children, especially less than 2 years or even less than 1 year. Those children may not have any symptom at all. Sometimes with fever, with any other symptom of urine. No problem with urination. And sometimes there is fever, and especially in less than 1 year, if there is failure to thrive, means child is not gaining proper weight. Urine infection is one of the most important cause. The infection is going on for some time. When we call it is chronic UTI, chronically infection is not going on, and it was missed somehow, and it was not being treated. And in that condition, this only one symptom may be there, that is failure to gain proper weight. So these are very subtle symptoms.
These are very subtle symptoms and very basic
parents
ones.
Are aware, then only they can suspect.
Okay, let's take the phone call first, doctor. Hello.
Hello.
আপোনাৰ প্ৰশ্নটো কৰিব, আমি শুনি আছো।
হয়, মই জানিব বিচাৰিছিলো মানে এই ডাইপাৰ যে পিন্ধা আমাৰ বেবীবিলাকক, মানে মোৰ বেবীৰ কাৰণে মানে সুধিছো কথাটো, ডাইপাৰটোৰ লগত ইউৰিন ইনফেকশ্যনৰ কিবা ৰিলেটেড আছে নেকি? মানে মই এবছৰ মানৰ পৰা ডাইপাৰটো ডাইপাৰ ইউজ কৰাটো বন্ধ কৰিব বিচাৰিছো। ত' ডাইপাৰটো যদি বেছি সময় পিন্ধি থাকে, কেতিয়াবা ৰাতিও ইভেন, তেতিয়া ইউৰিন ইনফেকশ্যন হোৱাৰ কিবা চান্সেছ আছে নেকি? মই এইটো জানিব বিচাৰিছো।
অলৰাইট।
ডাইপাৰ আজিকালি কেতিয়াবা ইউজ কৰিবলগীয়া হয়, স্পেচিয়েলি ৱৰ্কিং পেৰেণ্টছ নাইবা ৰাতি শোৱাৰ সময়ত দীঘলীয়া সময় যদি বিশেষকৈ ঠাণ্ডা দিনত কেইবাবাৰো শিশুটোৱে পেচাব কৰে, তো মাক দেউতাকে ভাবে যে যদি মানে ঠাণ্ডাত পৰি থাকে শিশুটোৱে, তো ঠাণ্ডা লাগি পেলেও বেমাৰ হ'ব পাৰে। গতিকে ডাইপাৰ ইউজ কৰিব পাৰি, তেনেকুৱা ডাইপাৰ ইউজ কৰিব নালাগে বুলি একো কথা নাই। কিন্তু ডাইপাৰ ইউজ কৰিলে আপুনি ডেফিনিট টাইমত ডাইপাৰটো চেঞ্জ কৰিব লাগিব। ডাইপাৰটো হেভি হৈ যায় কেতিয়াবা, তাতে লিখা থাকে 8 hours কেন বি ইউজ, 8 hours কাৰণে পেৰেণ্টছে চেঞ্জ নকৰে, 6 hours কাৰণে চেঞ্জ নকৰে, ডাইপাৰটো পূৰা ফুলি থাকে। তো বেচিকেলি শিশুৰ মানে পেচাবতে পৰি আছে, তো তেনেকুৱা সময়ত আকৌ ইউৰিন ইনফেকশ্যন হ'ব। তো ডাইপাৰ ৰেগুলাৰলি চেঞ্জ কৰাটো বিৰাট দৰকাৰ। আৰু আপুনি যেনেকৈ কৈছে এবছৰৰ পিছত ডাইপাৰ ব্যৱহাৰ নকৰিম বুলি ভাবিছোঁ, এইটো বহুত ভাল সিদ্ধান্ত লৈছে আপুনি। কাৰণ 15 to 16 months মানে এৰাউণ্ড 1.5 বছৰ হোৱাৰ পৰাই শিশুটিক টয়লেট ট্ৰেইনিং কৰাব লাগে। টয়লেট ট্ৰেইনিং মানে শিশুটোৱে পেচাবটো নিজে নিজেই ডাইপাৰত কৰি থাকে, গম নাপায়। গতিকে সেইটো মানে শিশুটো এৱেৰ হ'ব লাগে যে ডেফিনিট ইণ্টাৰভেলত যে পেচাব কৰাটো এটা কাম, সেইটো আমি এনেকৈ শিকাব লাগিব যে এটা সময়ৰ পিছে পিছে শিশুটিক লৈ গৈ মানে যিটো পটিচিট পায় আৰু তেনেকুৱা 1.5 বছৰমানৰ পৰা বহাবলৈ আৰম্ভ কৰিব লাগে। মানে ডেফিনিট ইণ্টাৰভেলত পেচাব কৰাটো, সেইটো টয়লেট ট্ৰেইনিং বুলি কোৱা হয়। গতিকে যদি আপুনি কণ্টিনিউৱাছ ডাইপাৰ পিন্ধাই থাকে, টয়লেট ট্ৰেইনিংটো সম্ভৱ নহ'ব। তো লাহে লাহে আপুনি এটলিষ্ট বছৰৰ পিছৰ পৰা ডাইপাৰটো গুচাই অনা স্পেচিয়েলি দিনৰ ভাগত অতি দৰকাৰী।
So this is a very good question the viewer has asked. It's a very practical question because nowadays we have seen that this lifestyle which everyone has got so busy. So this is one kind of very easy factor everyone thinks, but this has to be changed and maybe in sometimes has to be lessened down, and they can have a good toilet training to their children, isn't it? So as we were talking about the basic symptoms of how our parents will come to know, or how our children can tell or share with their parents who can share, and talking about the infants or talking about the children below the age of 5, it will be very difficult to make out, but certain symptoms can also give them an idea that if my child is more prone to fever, or I can see that he or she is having a problem while passing on urine. So those symptoms should not take lightly, isn't it? So in that modern time, do you think that immediately they should go and see a doctor, or they have to wait, or they can just cure it by something with their home?
See, most of the infection, cause of fever, that is infection in children, are mainly viral infection. So viral infection means child will have fever, sometimes only have fever. In those cases, no need to do anything, or have some cough, coryza, all those things.
All right, so we have another call. So let's take the call first, and then we'll proceed with the conversation. Hello.
Hello.
আপোনাৰ প্ৰশ্নটো কৰিব।
হয়, মোৰ বাচ্চা আছে, 5 years চলি আছে। আপোনাৰ হেৰি পেচাব লাগি থাকে, আপোনাৰ জলদি জলদি ঘনাই ঘনাই লাগি থাকে পেচাব।
হয়,
ওকে।
পেচাব ঘনাই ঘনাই লাগি থকাটো এটা পেচাবৰ ইনফেকশ্যন মানে ইউৰিনৰ ইনফেকশ্যনৰ এটা লক্ষণ হ'ব পাৰে, স্পেচিয়েলি যদি জ্বৰৰ লগত আছে। আৰু জ্বৰ নোহোৱাকৈও হ'ব পাৰে, গতিকে আপুনি অনতিমেলমে এজনক ডক্টৰক দেখুওৱা ভাল হ'ব। যদি ইউৰিন ইনফেকশ্যন নহয় নট নেচেচাৰি যে সদায় ইউৰিন ইনফেকশ্যনৰ কাৰণে ঘনাই ঘনাই শিশুৱে পেচাব কৰে যদি ইউৰিন ইনফেকশ্যনৰ কাৰণে নহয় কিছুমান বেলেগ প্ৰব্লেম থাকে যেনেকুৱা অভাৰ এক্টিভ ব্লাডাৰ মানে ইউৰিনাৰী ব্লাডাৰ মানে যিটো পেচাবৰ থৈলি বেগ থাকে য'ত পেচাবটো জমা হৈ থাকে তেনেকুৱা তাতে মানে পেচাবটো বেছি সময় ৰখিব নোৱাৰে এটো এটা ধৰক হাইপাৰ এক্টিভ চিলড্ৰেনত বেছিকৈ হয় যিবিলাক শিশু বেছি এক্টিভ তেনেকুৱা ক্ষেত্ৰতো ব্লাডাৰৰ প্ৰব্লেমত কি হয় বাৰে বাৰে পেচাব কৰা এটা টেন্ডেন্সি আহে কি এটো এটা যে স্বভাৱজনিত ৰোগ হয় মানে বিহেভিয়াৰেল ডিসঅৰ্ডাৰ বুলি ক'ব পাৰে বিশেষ ভাবিবলগীয়া কথা নহয় কিন্তু হেতু হয় বুলি কনফাৰ্ম কৰিবলৈ আপুনি শিশু ডক্টৰক এটলিষ্ট দেখুৱা দৰকাৰ
She's on the line if you need to ask any question. Apunar aru jodi kiba proshno ase apuni koribo pare doctor amar studio t ase khutibo pare.
হখনাই পেছাবৰ বাহিৰে আৰু কিবা অসুবিধা হয় নেকি মানে জ্বৰ দেখি থাকে নাইবা শিশুটিৰ ৰেগুলাৰ ইন্টাৰভেলত যদি আপুনি ওজন জুখিছে ওজন বাঢ়ি আহা নাই নাইবা তেনেকুৱা আৰু কি বিশেষ
বাচ্চাটো ওজন বাঢ়ি আহা নাই আপোনাৰ ফেব্ৰুৱাৰী 18 তাৰিখে 6 বছৰ সোমাব
হয়
তেওঁৰ মানে গ্ৰোথটো সিমান হেই নহয় আৰু আপোনাৰ বাচ্চাটো ক্ষীণ হয়
হয় ক্ষীণ হোৱাটো একচুয়ালি আনহেলদি হোৱা নহয় হেতু এটা ৰং কনসেপ্ট হয় ক্ষীণ হ'ব পাৰে এটো বয়সত বিশেষকৈ 3 পৰা 5 বছৰ বয়স 6 বছৰ বয়সলৈকে বাচ্চাটো অতি এক্টিভ থাকে সব সময়ত নিশ্চয় খেলি থাকে কিবা নহয় কিবা এটা বস্তুত এংগেজ থাকে গতিকে যদি শিশুটো এক্টিভ হয় উখ হিচাপে বাঢ়ি আহিছে খোৱাব ঠিকে কৰিছে বিশেষ মন মাৰি নাথাকে সব বস্তুত পাৰ্টিসিপেট কৰে গতিকে ক্ষীণ হোৱাটো আপুনি বেমাৰ বুলি নাভাবিব হেতু নৰমাল হ'ব পাৰে কিছুমান বয়স হিচাপে কিছুমান ষ্টেণ্ডাৰ্ড থাকে যে এটো বয়সত নাইবা ইমান ইন্টাৰভেলত ইমানখিনি ওজন বঢ়া নাইবা হাইট বঢ়াটো মানে উখ বঢ়াটো উচ্চতাটো হোৱাটো হেখিনি ডেফিনিট থাকে গতিকে হেখিনি যদি হৈ আছে গতিকে আপোনাৰ মনত যদি কিবা ডাউট আছে এজন আপুনি শিশু বিশেষজ্ঞক দেখাই লও তেওঁ যদি ভাবে যে বৃদ্ধিটো আৰু ডেভেলপমেন্ট গ্ৰোথ এণ্ড ডেভেলপমেন্ট দুটাই যদি নৰমাল আছে বিশেষ ভাবিবলগীয়া একো নহব আৰু পেছাবৰ ঘন কৰে পেছাবটো হেতু বিষয় আপুনি কনসাল্ট কৰিব পাৰিব ইউৰিন ইনফেকশন নে বেলেগ কিবা অসুবিধা হৈ আছে
All right. প্ৰস্তুত কৰিব
বাচ্চাটোৰ আপোনাৰ মুখৰ গোন্ধ ওলাই আৰু দাঁত পোকে খাইছে
হয় হেতু আপুনি এজন শিশু বিশেষজ্ঞক দেখালেই ভাল হ'ব আৰু লগতে হয়তো তেওঁ যদি ভাবে তেতিয়া আপোনাক দাঁতৰ ডক্টৰক দেখাবলৈ ক'ব পেছাব ৰিলেটেড মোক লাগিছে যে আপুনি এবাৰ দেখুৱাই লওক পেছাবৰ ইনফেকশন নহয় যদি তেতিয়াহে তেওঁ আগলৈকে কিবা টেষ্ট কৰিব হয়তো তেওঁ মিনিমাম ইউৰিন ইনফেকশন ইউৰিনৰ টেষ্ট এনেকুৱা এটা দুটা আপোনাক ক'ব পাৰে যদি তেওঁ ভাবে
All right. Thank you so much for calling. So this is also another important question and with related to children and there has to be more concern about their children because if they are out in school and then when we talk about school we can't like think about or we cannot assure about the hygiene they are maintaining it and in that time we have to give the toilet training the hygiene training at home to the students and to the children as well. Now talking about the basic infection and talking about the basic like symptoms about the infections and how common a children or how common which age group we are talking about that they are more prone to this infection doctor
Yes, infection, it is, as I already said, it is more common during the period of toilet training. That is 2 to 5 years. It is maximum common. Because of natural causes like, well, they have a tendency to postpone urine because they are not understanding yet the importance of passing urine regularly, going to the toilet. Then another problem is during this age group, usually there is a lot of constipation. Most of the children have constipation because of their food habit. They don't take enough of vegetable fruits. Even if they take fruits, most of the children have a tendency not to take vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables. So naturally they get constipated. Constipation is an important cause. If you may be surprised, it is one of the most important cause of repeated urinary infection.
Is it?
May seem unrelated, but constipation means the stool is in the bowel for a long time. It gets hardened and it presses upon the urinary bladder. That is the urine bag that contains urine. So urine has a tendency to stay there for a long time, and naturally, if it is a dirty thing, if there is water stagnant in a pond for a long time, we'll see green algae growing over it.
Absolutely.
So similarly, if it stays in the urinary bladder for a long time, it is a tendency to get infected. So these are the reasons they usually get infected.
Okay, doctor,
So
we'll talk more on the discussions and we'll have a fruitful discussion on this. But right now, viewers will have to slip into a short break. But do come back soon because we have lots more on the other side. Welcome back, viewers. You're still watching a Good Life, the health show with me, Pooja, and Dr. Afsana Jahan is in our studio. We are discussing on urinary tract infection in children and how one can take precautionary measures on that. So, doctor, coming back to you again, we had a word with on these repeated infections of bladder. So, now let's talk about that. If a child doesn't show any symptoms, so then at that point in time, like what can we make out?
Yes. One condition is then when the child is coming with urinary infection or if the child has some problem in passing urine, like the mother regularly notices that he or she forces while passing, especially in a male child. If he regularly passes some force, then only passes urine.
So this we are talking about the age group of below the 5 age? Or?
It can be in any age.
Any
Commonly
age.
below 5 years, because by that time usually the mother can detect.
Absolutely.
Older child also sometimes it may be missed and directly can present at 8-9 years. So in those cases, doctor needs to evaluate. If he or she suspects that that child has some underlying defect, then they are usually referred to like pediatric nephrologist. So in that case, we'll evaluate the child whether he has any possibility of birth defects. Or in the other scenario, maybe all the mothers, it is mandatory to do ultrasound in a pregnant woman. So all mothers undergo ultrasound during pregnancy.
Okay.
So there is a thing called fetal anomaly scan. It is done at around 20 weeks of pregnancy. At that time, all the organs of the child are examined by ultrasonography.
Okay.
So to detect if there is any major anomaly. Along with the other organs like kidney is also detected. If there is any problem, immediately nothing will be done. But this child are kept in mind that they have some birth defect, like some obstruction is there, they have chance of urinary infection.
So after the birth, it has to be taken care.
Immediately we can take care of. We can prevent urinary infection. If any surgery needs to be done, it can be done early without any damage. We have not allowed the child to go into any urine infection. Once there is infection, every urine infection will cause some injury to the kidney.
Okay.
So we can take precautions, and also if surgery is necessary, it can be done as early as possible.
So as you have rightly mentioned, and we are also coming to the point of kidney, so let's talk about it. What are the good habits, or what are the good habits to take care of your kidney, if we talk and tell our viewers on that point in time?
Yes. So the most important point is taking enough water.
Enough water.
Enough water. I think that is the most important. We say that.
And as children, when they are busy playing and when they are busy with their favorite things, they forget about drinking water, taking fluid. So that is the important role of parents at this point in time to take care of that as well.
Yes. So enough water. What is enough water? There is no definite quantity that this child should this much take of water. But once the child starts solid food, like at 6 months, we'll be weaning. So when we start giving solid food, at that time only start giving water.
Okay.
So maybe from 6 months to 1 year, 75 to 50 ml we can start slowly, and by 1 year if the child is taking 100 ml of water, 150 ml of water is enough. As the child grows, the water should increase gradually. Adult maybe around 1.5 to 2 liter of water is around sufficient. But it is said that everybody the water requirement is different. For us, any person should take enough of water that will produce urine that is not smelling. Okay, it is said like that. Urine should not smell and it should be clear. So then you are taking enough water.
Okay.
That should be your water requirement.
So that is when you make out that your everything is fine and you have to take that much of water
that your urine is clear and not smelling. So mothers should see that whether child's urine is any smell is coming from the child's urine. And what mothers can do, but I advise to the mothers that you keep 1 liter of bottle and tell the child in the morning that you have to finish this by this time. Like if taking the water bottle of 1 liter, so you get it finished in the school itself.
And that habit or something, maybe they might make it interesting also, that you can feed it into colorful bottles, and then you can ask your children that you have to finish it up, and this is something kind of a game or something, so that the child gets excited and they can also come out and they can also go and share it with their friends as well. So this might also pass on message to other people as well.
Because these habits have to be built up from very beginning. So then another thing is taking enough of fruits. Fruits contain high content of potassium, and it is now proved that high potassium content, enough of potassium content will prevent hypertension, that is high blood pressure in adult.
Okay.
And these habits can be built up only as a child. It is very easy to imbibe good habits in a child, and they will be carried for
long.
For long. Then another thing is not taking extra salts. Minimum salt should be used as possible, as it is tasty, makes the food enough tasty
Food
to the
tasty,
family.
yeah. It shouldn't be
That much
more,
only.
it shouldn't be
and
that
we
less.
should not take extra salt while eating. That habit is very bad actually. It should not be practiced in the family, otherwise children will learn the same. And also the food that are preserved, like chips, Maggi, or any pickles,
Any
papad, all
packet
those,
items.
yeah, those packet items,
Preserved items,
because usually high salt is added to them to preserve them, so that they don't get rotten. So this food should be avoided, and like school curriculum, they are also showing in the school curriculum itself that these are the healthy foods, these are the bad foods.
In fact, they have also fixed up all those meals also
Yes,
for every
yes,
day,
it's
like
very good
weekly
actually,
meals, and
yes.
that is very good
Yes.
because it is good for the parents
junk
as well.
food in
No
the
junk
tiffins.
foods. Yes.
That way they get a message.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, doctor, we have a phone call. Let's take the phone call. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Apnar prashno to koribo.
হয় মোৰ এজন বাচ্চা আছে বয়স আপোনাৰ 5 ৰানিং হৈছে 5 বছৰ ল'ৰাটোৰ আপোনাৰ কি হয় মুখৰ মানে গোন্ধ ওলাই থাকে
আচ্ছা
ব্ৰাছ দুবাৰে ৰাতিপুৱা এবাৰ কৰা যায় আৰু ৰাতি কৰে তথাপি কিহৰ কাৰণে মুখৰ গোন্ধ এইটো গম নাপাওঁ মানে
ওকে
হয়তো আপুনি যদি কিডনি ৰোগৰ বিষয়ে জানিব বিচাৰিছে তেনেকুৱা বিশেষকৈ একো ৰিলেটেড নহয় ষ্টিল যদি মুখ গোন্ধাইছে আপুনি এনাফ পানী খুৱাব লাগিব মই যেটো ক'লো এনাফ পানী মানে ইমানখিনি পানী য'ত বাচ্চাটো ৰেগুলাৰ ইন্টাৰভেলত 1-2 ঘণ্টাত পেচাব কৰি আছে পেচাব গোন্ধোৱা নাই পেচাবটো ক্লিয়াৰ হৈ আছে আৰু দিনত দুবাৰ ব্ৰাছ কৰাটো ভেৰি গুড হেবিট তাৰ পিছতো যদি গোন্ধোৱাই থাকে আপুনি মেবি এজন ডেন্টিষ্টক কনসাল্ট কৰা বেছি দৰকাৰ
Right, all right. So what could be the reason, like, if this kind of problems arises in children? Because if the person says that the child brushes his teeth twice in a day, so what could be is it something related to internal problems or something like?
It may be less water intake than constipation, all those reasons only, then bad.
Is any out of foods or junk foods also be the reason?
That. Maybe it's bad
maybe
oral
the dental
hygiene or
hygiene.
There may be caries which he is missing, so it's better to yes.
Okay. So the dental hygiene is also very important to take care of. All right, talking about coming back to the kidney part, doctor, what are the other measures, like what are the preventive measures one can take care of to have a good kidney and to take care of your kidneys?
Yes. So these are the things we already discussed, that enough of fluid, that means water or any clear fluid, then fruits which are like have more water, mosambis, then oranges and watermelon, all those fruits have to be one of the fruit among the fruits that the child is taking. So these are the things, then enough of fibers in the diet so that the passes daily regular bowel habit is regular, and then taking less salt, more of potassium rich fruits, and then if you are asking about person who is having kidney disease, those kidney protective
measures. The one who
measures,
are already infected with kidney diseases.
Those already having kidney disease, in those cases, please do not give the child any drug or any medicine without consulting a doctor. Absolute no to the over-the-counter drugs. Like any fever or pain, you may be thinking that it is a small problem and you can go to the pharmacy and ask that having high fever, please give some medicine. So he can arbitrarily give some medicine. Those medicines may be nephrotoxic, meaning that they can injure the kidneys. The medicine can be harmful to the kidneys. Most of the drugs that we take may be harmful to the kidney, because all the drugs that goes inside the bodies that we are taking, it is eliminated through kidney. It passes out in the urine, so that way it can harm the kidneys. So there are drugs which can be more nephrotoxic, more harmful to the kidney. So it is very important to avoid those drugs, especially in those children who are having kidney disease. So always consult a doctor before giving any drugs. Then if the child is having kidney disease, there are a lot of taboos in the society that do not give high protein diet, do not give fish, egg.
Those are the myths which
if a neighbor comes to know the child has some kidney problem, without knowing XYZ, somebody may be advising that please don't give, restrict all the proteins.
All the proteins,
so especially
egg, chicken,
even
or
the
whatever.
children who I am seeing regularly, I regularly talk about diet and everything, whether the child is going to the school, all these things.
Right.
So surprisingly, I suddenly find that they have stopped giving fish and egg. Why? Because some neighbor has told that since kidney disease, you better avoid all these things.
So they
it is
think that
absolutely
it has
absurd.
to be a no to protein,
Yes.
but that is not
No,
the concept.
it's not at all. There is no role of protein restriction even in children having kidney disease.
And everything more is also not good. Everything stopping is also not good.
Yes.
So if you think that you have to stop all the protein
Not
items,
even
and
stopping, there should be enough of protein in the diet. It's just opposite. Because children have to grow. It is not like an adult having kidney disease. It is, children are absolutely
because
different
that
from
is a developing
adult.
age.
It is their developing age, their growing age. Along with their growth, every organ is growing, even the kidney is growing, and the child has to grow. Whatever is the disease, I am treating that disease, but the child has to grow along with it. Adult, it is different. There is not much question of growth.
Right.
So they have to mainly be kidney protective. But in children, along with the kidney protective, the child has to grow. So the protein, there is no role of protein restriction.
So doctor, we are really short of time. So on last note, what would you like to tell our viewers, and how in general, like you can take care of your kidney, and how you can in general tell your children that how if you go out, that how you have to maintain the hygiene and to be aware about the infections which is surfacing?
Like hygiene, it is important, like hand washing before eating, all those things. But you specifically ask about kidney disease or avoiding urine infection. Like even if you are out for a long time, make sure that your child is taking enough water, passing urine at regular interval. Then they're using as far as possible in public places. Also see that the toilet is clean, and even if you are on a vacation, the diet is proper, and he's not constipated for long. All those things are the general advice there. As a pediatric nephrologist, I will.
Absolutely. And school and schools also play a very important role,
Yes,
because when
definitely.
school give you awareness,
Nowadays,
we
the
have
school
seen
hours are increasing.
School hours are
Yes.
increasing, so children hardly they find time, and
be
they
with parents,
are very
yes.
prone to these kind of gadgets and mobiles, and they don't go out for physical activities. So physical activity is also very important,
Yes,
isn't
physical
it?
activity is definitely important. So there is no alternative to outdoor activities. You have to reduce the screen time, because in this activity, more the activity, the child are less prone to being obese, that is excessive weight. And obesity is one of the very important cause in long term, like having hypertension or high blood pressure. The earlier people used to have hypertension at a later age, but nowadays it is taking that the age of
basically,
hypertension
yes.
is decreasing. It is coming more and more in the teenage group because of the habit, because of the junk food, because of the less activity outside, less playing.
Right.
Group games are getting less and less. They are more addicted to screens, that is
They're
mobile
more addicted
or
to
anything.
screens. They are morely
Yeah.
inside their home, and they are morely in indoors, and they have lessened the activities which would happen, and they should always go out and see those activities. So, doctor, we are really short of time. So thank you so much here for coming here and guiding us in the entire episode. And we had a fruitful discussion on this, and I'm sure the viewers who have watched our show must be benefited with what the discussion we had. And with this, we have come to the end of the show, and we hope that we were able to answer all your queries in the best possible way. But in our next episode, we will be discussing on some other important health issues. So if you have any queries, do join us next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. live. Till then, stay healthy, stay fit, and keep watching Northeast Live. Goodbye.